The flag, flying at the stern of the SS Jupiter, flutters violently as a strong wind greets the ship as she enters the Norwegian port of Haugesund. This gale force wind has been blowing across the North Sea ever since the ship left North Shields in England. On this voyage, the Jupiter has a dual role. As well as operating a ferry service between England and Scandinavia, she is also acting as a mini cruise ship. The cruise passengers are visiting Bergen and will use the ship as a hotel during their stay in Norway. Once the new passengers and their cars are safely aboard, the bow section is lowered and then carefully inspected to ensure that the ship is watertight. The Jupiter is now ready to sail, and after all the mooring ropes are mechanically stowed away, she gently eases her way from the quayside and into the channel that will take her to the sea. Like all good cruise ships, the Jupiter has an extensive range of facilities. Apart from the mandatory gaming casino and slot machines, there is a cinema showing a different film every day, several restaurants and quite a number of snack bars that are open all day and most of the night as well. A few of the more adventurous shipmates brave the elements to take in the sights and sounds as the ship enters the approach waters to Bergen.
Nej, jag har inte konsert.
While still on board, cruise passengers can pre-book coach tours to interesting places. Although a guided tour of Bergen is available, the most popular is a trip to the resort town of VOSS. The first stop on the VOSS tour is here, at the Bridal Veil Falls. They were given this name in the 1920s, after a honeymoon couple were killed when their car left the road and plunged into the falls. This road passes many waterfalls, some large and some small, and this is the first of many tunnels that go through the mountains on the way to VOSS. The coach driver obligingly stops at all the convenient places where passengers can take photographs. tourist centre has been established alongside these impressive falls, which allows visitors to stand right up to the edge of the cascading water. Welcome refreshments are available at the cafe, which also sells Norwegian souvenirs. One would imagine that the deafening noise of the falls would not make these houses into ideal homes. But it doesn't seem to bother the residents, as their properties are very close to the noisiest part of the attraction, where visitors can actually walk under the torrent of water. From a loud, noisy waterfall, the coach next stops at a complete contrast, the quiet, tranquil waters of Hardanger Fjord. These waters are extremely cold, and the depth of most fjords is on average 2 or 3 times the depth of the Grand Canyon in America. A local ferry boat still operates, and until 1945 it was the only way of travelling between towns along the fjord, as no road existed. The coach has now reached VOSS, which is a small pleasant town surrounded by hills and mountains, and boasts a huge lake. This tour allows the visitors to spend a few hours to explore the delights offered by the shops, parks and lakeside activities. This church is one of the oldest in Norway, being over 1,000 years old. It is unusual in being a stone building with a completely wooden steeple. During World War II, VOSS was a centre of partisan resistance, and in reprisal raids, the town was practically destroyed. Amazingly, this church was left undamaged. And so this has been a glimpse of what Norway has to offer, and it certainly whets the appetite for a much longer stay.